All right, guys, let's do a market update from what we saw this morning. When we did the video, I said that price is going to turn around at this yellow box where it is. I said the reason for it is because it's resisting against the second arc on the high cycle, the 1 to 8, this guy right here. And that's exactly what happened. So the price turned around right there where we said it was going to be, and then went down to the opposite direction. Now, again, this is not luck. This is years of hard work and understanding how Gann and the mystics and everything works together for us to get this kind of precision. Another thing I wanted to just bring some attention to earlier is that we made a downtrend suggestion because of the high forming below the recent high, and then the low forming below the recent low. Okay, so lower highs and lower lows, again with the lower high over here, indicates that we're going into a downtrend. So even though we didn't put capital into this ourselves, we knew that the next point had to form lower than the previous low, because that's what a downtrend is, right? Lower highs and lower lows. And I'm sure if you've gone over to my YouTube content, which is the links inside my TradingView profile, and you got through the initial videos, you would have seen this for yourself and seen how it works together. Actually, the guys who have gone out and put the effort in to learn more about the style of trading, you can see here that our cycle is laid out over there. Within that cycle, our quadrants are laid out. Those quadrants are here to space out our turning points. And as you can tell, as I said, that the fifth turning point will form at the midline here at the halfway point of our cycle. It's just the characteristics that a fifth turning point has. And I did all of the above, verbatim, word for word, as I suggested. So I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just trying to impress upon you that this way of thinking, it really works. So stick around if it interests you, and make the most of it. I know it's been a hard road for you guys, and you've been spending a lot of time perhaps looking at free material or going through books on your own and kind of getting lost, whatever the case may be. Hang out with us, kind of keep close to this, and I think you're going to be quite impressed with what you see. Okay, so right now there's a chance of a tight turning point where this little yellow box is at the moment. I mean, it doesn't make obvious sense for it to turn around there. So we're still not getting into a trade. We're not chasing the market. We're waiting for those opportunities where it's predictable and safe gains, because obviously you want to protect your account first and foremost. So we're sitting back still. We're just kind of observing. We don't like cry over not spilled milk. We don't cry over lost opportunity, because we know that there are going to be hundreds and thousands worth of opportunities to come for us to maximize and profit off of. So we're kind of waiting for the market structure to confirm itself. Another thing that I'm keeping my eye out on is on the 1 to 8 minutes over here. We've seen this resistance along the second arc. See how it goes: resist, 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 bang, dropping down right through the 2/1, through the 4/1, and now the 8/1. So guys, if it breaks through this 0 point over here, if it drops out from there, then we are confirmed to be in a downtrend, which means we're going to turn this around and confirm the next turning point from a downtrend perspective. But being crypto and being as unpredictable as this market can be at times, we're just going to wait for that to happen first before we run to any assumptions. So we're going to leave it to where it is right now, and just be observant of what that looks like in the near future. Now, just going back to my Gann enthusiasts, and again and again and again, it's just so wonderful to have you guys around. Not to kind of belittle anyone else, but I mean, if you've got to the stage of Gann in your trading experience, it means that this is a game that you absolutely love, and you've gone far beyond what the obvious eye has presented itself, or the obvious information that the internet kind of just throws at you has presented itself as, and you went deeper into what works, man. And this is why I commend you, because you just obviously have that love for the game as much as we do. So on that note, I just want to kind of reward you for for that beautiful journey that you're on and that mission that you're uncovering as you go along with. And I want to talk to you about the the Gann Square a little bit. Please pardon my words right now. I don't think I've slept for the last 24 hours, just responding to messages and chatting to all the wonderful new friends from around the world. So I'll get some rest, and then tomorrow's video will be a bit more structured and have a better flow to it. Okay, so before I do that, let's just climb into this right now. So here's the Gann Square fix. In your style options, you've got these set up for you. There'll be when you go to the default settings, you'll see a bunch of colors and it'll have a background activated and stuff. I kind of like to work from a very minimalistic environment where I only put down what I absolutely need in its cleanest form. So I'm a big fan of precision and that kind of thing. So my recommendation, if you're going to follow my advice, is to just take away all the noisy color and perhaps just copy my settings for yourself so that you've got what I've got here in front of you for the future. And again, just take away this background because it looks a little bit tardy. Anyway, so I just want to explain to you what we're looking at over here. Now, the Gann Square evidently is a 5x5 grid, okay? So you've got 5 boxes across, and you got 5 boxes horizontally. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's a 5x5 set of boxes if you want to kind of keep it nice and simple. Now, what you'll notice is that the lines that interact between the crossing points of the box is what gives us the information that we need to trade off of. It all works out very close-knit, and it's just super fascinating how it all comes together. And again, guys, if we weren't getting the results from this, I wouldn't even consider it, but it delivers time and time over. So again, spend a lot of time just really getting to know this, or come through to me and I can teach it to you. But either way, I would make sure this is a part of your trading technique as it works really well. Okay, so if you look at the 1/1, basically it's a 45-degree line that goes, splits or joins up at the one box across and one box down. So if you look at that little bits over there where my mouse is circling, okay, that's the crossing. So it's 1/1 box, one across, one down, one across, one down, one across, one down. Okay, so that's basically what that means. Now if you go across to the 1/2, you're going to see it'll be 2 down and 1 across, okay, or 1 across and 2 down to keep it in order. So 1 across, 2 down, let's have a look what happens. 1 across, 2 down, that's where it crosses. 1 across, 2 down, that's where it crosses, and I'll continue to do that forever and ever. And we can continue building that out. So let's just add in the 1/4. So again, so it's 1 across, 4 down, so you can see where it crosses over there. And this gives us the information of what I like to term as the price route that the market chooses at every turning point. So if you imagine yourself, or imagine price rather, having a GPS, and it's at home over here, and it says, all right, cool, I've got to go to my location, and it gets given these 3 routes, for example. I can either go the back roads, or can go the suburban way, or suburbs roads, I guess, or the freeway. They'll have travel options, okay, and that's what we look for. We look for the travel options that price will take. And in this instance, it's decided to go down to the 1/4. So I said, all right, cool. Screw the other 2 options. The one I want to travel along is the 1/4 freeway. And it's done exactly that, okay? So over here, it came up and said no to the back roads. It says, I don't really want to go the suburb way today. Bang, freeway it is. And then now we've got price exactly where it is right now. Okay, so this information all works together with the rest of my MTOP strategy. Please don't use it in isolation. It's like saying that you want to go to the Olympics with just your torso. Like, you got to have the whole strategy working together. It's just one component of it, so don't put too much weight on this alone. I just want to explain the Gann Square rather, in a bit more detail for the fans who love his work, and that's what this is right now. Okay, so that is pretty much how the fans work. They are the price support or the price travel that we look at for price to go along, right? The next thing to consider are the arcs. Okay, so don't be kind of intimidated by the names. After you use it a few times, it becomes second nature to you. And then, like, the finance industry is so full of nonsense with their jargon and their barriers to entry, like convergence and divergence and all this other stuff. Like, you have to go to Google to try find the definition and blah 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 blah. If you're not English speaking, it makes it more difficult. So, like, I apologize on the finance behalf of all the nonsense that you've had to go through. That's super boring stuff. Just try and just keep whatever you're learning just as simple as possible and relatable to what you already know. So that's why I like to work in the most simple form as possible, and then try to keep things kind of as if a 5-year-old would understand it. The Americans call it to dumb it down, and that's obviously said with all respect and that kind of stuff. It's just to kind of make it relatable is basically what that's about. So if you have a look at the arcs here, they're basically just resistance arcs. So almost like a fishing net, I suppose, or something to that effect. So if like a fish escapes a fishing boat or kind of get caught up in a net, I'm just trying to think of another way of describing it right now. Off the top of my head, maybe it's like a bird leaving a nest and there's just leaves on the way down. I think that's a better way because the whole fishing boat thing is quite a dramatic scene. So the bird leaves the nest and it goes, right, cool, boom. I'm not going to stop at this first leaf or this first branch, go down to the second one and see if one keeps going all the way down to the ground. And it kind of just, it travels down that way. So if you want to imagine that inside your head, let's try that out right now. And what I want you to look at over here is how the boxes, the box corners, line up in a curvature style way. Okay, so look at the 1/1. All right, let's rather bring that other one up. So the 1/1 here is crossing right there at the 1 across and 1 down. So that's where the 1/1 arc connects. If I get into the kill zone, and the kill zone is a tutorial for another time, but the kill zone over here connects with the inside of that same box from there to there. So that kill zone has got a lot of power to it. Something I really recommend you guys learn to use because it saved us in so many ways. And I'll get to that one day, or obviously if you come through and chat to us in private, we'll be able to explain that better. Okay, so now I want you to look at the second branch or leaf that the nest, the bird that jumps out the nest will kind of find resistance at. And again, this goes from the second box across to the second box down. Okay, so 2 across, 2 down, 2 down, and there it is right there. So it decided to maybe hang out here for a little bit, or Mr. Price, and he said, nah, I'm not happy with this. I'm going to go down further to the next leaf. Okay, cool. So the third one across and the third one down, can you see a third across connects to the third one down, was the next option. I was like, nope, I'm not going to stop here. I got further to travel, and so we kept on going. All right, cool. So now it's at the 4 across and 4 down. Okay, so where that curvature is, it's considering this area as its turnaround point. It's kind of breaking through it. I mean, I can put this extra layer here to see whether or not it catches the little bird. But I mean, if it pushes on through, that's totally okay. We'll just have to kind of adjust the strategy to incorporate the new information. Again, guys, we don't have to chase bad trades. So not getting into this one is no tears lost from our side. It's responsible to kind of wait for predictable market conditions rather than just getting in, hoping, and then watching the price go in the opposite direction and hitting your stop loss, or God forbid, a liquidation. Okay, so that's the 4, and then bring down that 5, again, 5 across, 5 down. So that's what the arcs are. They are the capture branches, the capture nets, whatever the cases be, ultimately the resistance curves. And the same thing will happen on the other side as well. So when this goes upwards, it'll be those capture nets as well. So that's the resistance. So arcs are basically the resistance curves, and then the fans are the lines that join up the boxes. And that's pretty much the internal structure of this gorgeous mechanism that we have at our fingertips here. And again, if you saw the video earlier this morning, it coincides with the squaring of price and time and a whole bunch of advanced stuff that goes into all of this. We're just quite fortunate that it's simple to use, even though you don't need to really understand why it works, you can still use it if you know how it works. So definitely make use of it, guys. It absolutely, um, I couldn't recommend this tool more. It's something that I'm a dear fan of, and I love using it. Okay, so right now, again, if we had to go back to the video, we said that prices are going to turn over there. It has done exactly that. We are considering this to be our turnaround point. So it's kind of pushed through there already. We're going to rather sit back just to see if there's something that the market is trying to tell us for us to restructure our environment. We're going to pop up to the 128 and then bang. Okay, cool. So now we're officially into downtrend. Now, for those of the guys, so those of you who have gone onto my video material, can I ask you, what do you think you're seeing over here? All right. First and foremost, what you're going to see is a lower low. Okay, so when a lower low forms, guess you really know the answer to what I'm about to say next. We got a downtrend. Okay, so the lower low is now confirmed that we're no longer going into an uptrend, which is totally cool, because I didn't really see this working out anyway, which is why I didn't emphasize it very much. It was a weak market, and it's not usual for price to kind of skimp along like that and all of a sudden come out of nowhere and go up like that. So I knew there was something was up, which is another reason why I haven't put out any signals on this. So we're just going to take this away and then utilize this over here as a semi double top. Again, it's important for me to restructure this just to make sure that we have everything in line. So far, that looks pretty good to me. So that is an option that could have gone down. Yeah, it pretty much ties up, but I don't want to just rush into the analysis. All I needed now was confirmation that we're in a downtrend. And once you are in flow with trend, then everything else works out for you. Like trend is your friend. Make sure that you're trading with it. And then it's just pretty much profits and profits and profits and profits and profits and profits. So what now? You ask, well, we just want to wait for this turning point to be finalized. If the downtrend does continue, then we don't trade against trend. So we're not going to catch the bounce and risk our capital. We're going to wait for the next high to form and then short the next high. That's what happens when you trade with trend. You buy high, sell low, and an uptrend, which is obviously the opposite way around, you buy low, sell high. So we're in downtrend, so we buy high, sell low. We don't trade against trend. We're basically just going to sit back and let this play out and then make our decisions day forth. All right, so that's a bit of a walk around the Gann Square and how its structure is when you kind of break it down to its basics and build it back out again, and also on some tips on how to use it. Naturally, what you want from the Gann Square is you want it to be scaled correctly, and there's a lot more information that the Gann Square can offer you. It can scale your entire chart right, down to perfection, and also this kill zone information here is also like absolutely powerful once you get to read the story. I mean, you can tell the future just from what's happening inside this kill zone. We've proved that many times over again. So yeah, cool. I want to get off of this video and probably just head over, get some sleep, well deserved, I think. And we'll see how this plans out, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. That's it for today, guys. Thanks for your attention. Hope you're okay wherever you are in the world, and see you soon. Ciao for now.